Yeah, found a spare hour. We're probably not doing any pack dev, so I won't get too excited. But I mean, I'm only going to be doing uploads to CurseForge anyway, so might as well just talk. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, we're going to be updating, well, Submerged. And then Sazabi's done Contained and Evolved. I'm losing all my channels. Helper chat. Yeah, Contained and Evolved. Hey, hey, hey. I say, I don't know how long this stream's going to last either. It could be half an hour, it could be an hour, it could be 2 hours. I have no idea. We will see. I mean, classically, I've been exporting the CurseForge file for Submerged 2 for about 7 minutes now. And it's still not loaded. Oh no. Take on RF Tools Dimensions. It's a good mod. I actually looked at adding it in Fractured. But it's just not quite as flexible as I'd want it to be. Oh, I didn't even update anything. Oh, that's not fun. Cancel that. CurseForge now frozen. You're getting like inside behind the scenes of the great fun it is to upload a mod pack. Check for updates. No updates found. Updates found. Casting. Apply construction sticks. Play. Generate server farms. But yeah, I say this, I don't know what the point of this stream is. It's literally just, I don't know. But feel free to ask any questions that you want to ask. I really don't care. It's just been such a long while since we've done a talking stream. Next mod pack. Next mod pack is Fractured. No idea when it's coming. What I can say with certainty is it's not coming tomorrow. Okay, let's try exporting again. With the correct mods. Now something's randomly beeping in my house. The idea is that the world's fractured apart, but it's not really that anymore. It's basically going to be well, not normal overworld, but overworld generation with hexlands, but hexlands that's modified so there's no borders between the hexes, which creates good-looking terrain, which lends towards the fractured name, and then you will travel through different dimensions for different resources. That's the idea. So rude. Okay, that's the change log done. Yeah, it's very rare. That's why I've decided to do this one, because it's been such a long time. But as I say, we're probably not going to do any pack there. It is literally going to be just more of a Q&A sort of thing, whilst I upload mod pack updates. It's like rolling a dice that has 100 sides. Sometimes you roll that one, and that one is when I'm streaming with the mic. So yeah, again, we've managed to test the server, which is great. Make the page for the update, all before CurseForge has made the update. Yes, it's usually based on you not chatting in chat. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. So look at our statistics, shall we, on CurseForge? Just today needed a bit more time to notice. That is completely fair. mean, you have also worked on like 2 mod pack updates. Where is Submerged? Submerged 787 downloads today. Yet Resource Fish has 759. I still don't understand how that works. Thank you very much for the follow. It's a great question. I have absolutely no idea. Like, so, as I say, Submerged today, 787. Time in the Bottle Charger is above that with 988, which makes sense because it's in mod packs. Same as like shops, invisible lights, all that stuff. Resource Fish is actually in Farmopolis as well, as far as I know. So Farmopolis has had 367 downloads today, which takes it to over 1,000, yet somehow Resource Fish has only had 759. I just have absolutely no idea how that works. CurseForge progress bar update, we are still waiting. Today just evolved mainly contained. I just quickly updated and explored new files and did a quick server test. With contained, is it worth releasing it as a beta? Just in case it's broken. Could be people downloading older versions of the packs. Yeah, true. But then they shouldn't be getting offered those versions. But then there's not really a way, so you can't really... So you can see a daily downloads per project, but it doesn't tell you per file. So like, it'd be interesting to see, because obviously Rooters is at the top. That's the best performing like project I have at the moment. And then after that is Utilities. But it'd be interesting to see what version it is of Utilities. Like if it's the 1.20.1. But you can't really see that. Oh, great news. Export has now finished. Add file. Upload an additional file. Submerged to server pack B8.0. Add. Maybe not sure if lots of things would break. By first evolved update, I basically redid a couple of the structure that would have been more beta than contained, I think. The trouble is with contained, we haven't done an update since, was it the Gear Right did a bit, I did a bit, and now you've done a bit. That's the only thing that's a little bit worrying. Contained a space adventure. The last update was in December, so yeah, just over 2 months ago. This will be Cube.js as well. Fine, I'll just release it as normal. If it's completely broken, then we'll just have to fix it. How are you finding Hightower on it? Much different from Minecraft. That is a whole cat of worms, that. You don't need Space Venture Part. It's only called that because the contained was already taken. So I just threw on the a Space Adventure thing. Hightower modding is very different. Oh, is it different? Yeah, it is different. It is different. It's an experience. I think once I get more used to it, it'll be a lot better. But for example, for whatever reason, we found with casting that if you one of the recipes for the actual casting well, not multi-block, but the block thing, used 2 furnaces in it. But it would only work with furnaces that were from creative mode, and furnaces that you crafted didn't work. But if a furnace that you crafted, you placed and then broke, it did work. So there's some weird MBT stuff going on there with furnaces, but I think that might be a Hightower issue, not a casting issue. So I think manually crafting it is assigning some sort of value somewhere, but I'm not sure where, why, or how that's happening. But it's okay, yeah. I think it'll be a bit. I'd want to get into the actual Java side of it more instead of just the asset editor, because I find it like so. I was going to add a well, I did add an Electrum staff, and all I wanted to do was change the damage that it did. And I had to add something like 10 different JSON files and stuff like that to actually get it to work, and then it still was buggy. It's annoying the way you can't just if you wanted a flint and steel item in Minecraft, you just extend that item, build that item, done. All the functionality is there. But with Hightower, it doesn't quite work like that. So it's good in one way and bad in other ways, but I think you'll get better. Is it okay if I give an idea, place or mod pack, take it? You can give ideas, yeah? I don't mind listening to ideas for anything, really. Where is the changelog? Download. Then we add the server file. That's contained as well. You know of the Wonderland horror mod? No. Never heard of that mod. Don't mention GregTech. Nah, the only, and this is a very slim chance, the only way I think we do a GregTech pack is if you start off with Applied Energistics. I mean, that's the only way I would ever consider it. But then at that point, I feel like it just becomes Crafting Simulator. So I don't really know. There's no reason behind why we need to do it either. Like, I'm not going to build a pack behind a mod that I don't really like myself. I need to download Evolved. Craft all the things off this. I mean, we could do that. Low on the name. Yeah, that's quite a good name. Main purpose of Wonderland is going to sleep and formation. I think that would be quite a hard thing to build around, though. Like the idea with Fractured would be is I'm going to add a time element to it as well, so you can only spend like X amount of time in a dimension. Even more on a server. What do you mean? I have 6 now. You can tell with a game, yeah, I don't mind. No, I think that's a perfect name. Craft all the things Opolis. Yeah, it's tricky with that. I mean, to be fair, if the idea is good enough, I tend to roll with it anyway. Like Submerged, if we were strictly speaking about server performance, I probably wouldn't have done a whole chapter based on like mobs. But I felt like it added something, so it was worth doing. Files. Manage project. Add file. 5.2. Neo. 1.21. Changelog. Add file. Pizza Tower. Never heard of it. "10 out of 10 on Steam. 97% of people like this video game." Pretty good. Right, so that's that as well. Any of these come through yet? Yep, submerged. Update notifies. Send. Just throw us in a world so there's something on the screen that's Minecraft related. I say, to be honest, I've never heard of it. Status of contained 3.2 _server in the project contained a space eventually was changed. Look at all these fans. Re-Ender.io Endergy. Project E Reborn. Yeah, I had a look at it. Is it from 2023? I'd say it's got really good reviews. I think that's fine. Oh yeah, I see. I see it. Yeah, I think that's fine. No one really looks at the file names anyway. And it has been improved. I can see it's been improved. Team Project E Reborn. Trying to work out what this is. This is a fork by Project E. Do not report your problems to the original mod. This mod inherits the functionality of the original Team Project E mod, but adds a few improvements and enchantments. Oh, enhancements, not enchantments. Shared EMC knowledge with your teammates. Can't you do that in default Project E anyway? Is it not just a command? Fix an issue where EMC and knowledge were cleared when a mod was added to a world that had already been created, even if the existing save already exists and the EMC and knowledge data of the player, they will not be cleared. That makes no sense. Even if the existing save already existed. Integrated display of EMC and exchange rate in minimap mods. Optimize the logic of players join a team to deal with EMC and knowledge. I'm just trying to work out what the point of this mod is. I'm pretty sure everything that I can see, the default Project E does. I'm pretty sure it displays the EMC in your top left with the, like if you're automating stuff, there's the mod that adds the extraction as well. And I'm pretty sure that we've used EMC in one of the Seopolises and we added mods and it never changed the knowledge that we had. So I'm not sure where that's coming from, but that was previous version, so maybe it's a bug in this version. You've got to remember, we don't follow any naming schemes, we just make it up. Project E is a terrible mod. It depends how it's implemented, in my opinion. Create testosterone, eh? It just adds pizza. Oh, it adds that mod. Right, okay. What else has come out? Create Auritech. Oh no, Cube.js Auritech. It's a shame that mod didn't exist when we were doing Contain. That would have made it a lot easier. Oh, it does it in Project Expansion. Yeah, that's weird. It still seemed a bit weird to add features that, like, if it's an add-on mod anyway, I don't know why you'd implement that into the main mod as a fork. It just seems a bit weird. Modular machinery. Fix correctly, not updating correctly the structure of dedicated servers. Love to see it. But even like, so there's a mod called Title Changer. Mod that changes your Windows game title to wherever you want it to be, but you can do that with so many mods. Polished planks. All the ones. You know, it's actually scary that there's. If we just look at today, there's only been about 30 mod updates today for 1.21.1, which is quite low. I think everyone is kind of done with it. Here's a question I want to know the answer to, but I want to hear it from you. What do you think is the best pack you've made? Submerged 2? Actually, there's two answers. The first answer is the latest pack. In terms of, like, the best pack is such a broad thing. Because the most hours I've had probably is in Submerged 2. But I think Techopolis 3 for the actual... but as I think I said it a few times, I don't think there's another pack out there that supports as many world types as we do without having to change any configuration settings at all from a user standpoint. You just go in, pick your world and play. Whether that's a server or single player or whatever. Tech 2 is great. Like, again, the same with the world type stuff, but I think Tech 3, in a technical like overview, I think technically that pack is better made, is the best made pack we've ever done. Apart from the Cube.js stuff, because that whole stuff was a mess, but we've been tidying that up in the last update. I tidied that up a bit. I'm used to bugs, so I don't mind them. I think the bigger question is what. I think you'd be saying Tech 3, Submerged 2. Again, Submerged 2, there's so much technology in that a lot of people take for granted. But if you're looking at a technical standpoint, some of the stuff in Submerged 2 is unbelievable. Like, I have to say, I'm very proud of Robopolis. I think there's no other base mod like that, I don't think, that you can do the stuff that we've done with it and how much it's improved during Submerged 2, to be fair. Like the JEI stuff with Robopolis is really good. And the fact that you can see the builds now in World and you've got the places that all work properly and you can build add-on mods like immersive places that we're going to use in Fractured as well. Like that mod, technically that mod I think is the best mod I've made. What are your opinions of Contained? Good pack. I had a lot of fun making that pack, to be fair. The problem with that pack is that we were quite limited on a lot of things, and a lot of it ended up being reworked so many times. If you change the keybind selection, if you press the keybind to change the selection mode of the selection stick, crash your game. Sounds about right. Probably a client server desync thing. I think the biggest question, you asked me what my favourite pack is. What was your favourite packs, Obelisk ones? I always have a soft spot for the original Submerge, the original Sea Obelisk. That pack really, as much I don't think it's actually very well made now, looking back at it. But it was a pack that did incredibly well. And it was kind of gave me the like the kick to carry on, trying to make cool stuff. Like it was just so, I don't know, it's validating, I guess, to see that something that you actually worked really hard on was getting like playthroughs, and like you were seeing, like it was weird looking through YouTube and seeing the pack there. Like it was just weird stuff like that. And to think of the stuff that we did before that as well. I already have loads of ideas for Tech Obelisk 4. But it will be a while off yet. The next pack, so we're going to do, Fractured was moved forward. Originally Fractured was going to be for the next Minecraft version, but I think we'd just be waiting too long. And we need to have something like in development. I can't just be sitting here for 3 months without anything in development. So Fractured's going to be on the, probably slightly on the smaller side, because I tend to do a massive massive pack into a smaller pack. So obviously Submerged 2 was huge in terms of content and stuff, and it's still not finished. But Fractured will be a bit smaller than that. Totemic's not too bad. I mean, it's a lot better now. I don't know if you've played it since we made it even easier to do the ceremonies, but as I think Submerged has got really good elements to it. As the base building with Room Obelisk I think it's really cool. I may be biased, but I do think it's really good. Yeah, so it's been made even easier because there was I think quite early on in public it was still issues with certain ceremonies and stuff. But instead of nerfing this, well, instead of making the ceremonies cheaper, we made the actual instruments better, which we couldn't actually do originally anyway because the mod didn't have that. But it did add support for that later on, so we was actually able to change the instruments to be better, which made it a lot smoother as well. Also, I just noticed that the buttons, usually this is over here, right? But I guess that's changed. But yeah, as I say, Fractured was moved earlier. And it's not going to be a massive pack, I don't think. It'll probably about 200, 250 mods. And then the next one after that, where is my notepad? I believe it's the stone one. Yes, Cave Obelisk 2. It will be exactly how Tech 3 is with multiple world types, yeah. The buttons up here, the FTB ones, I thought that the JEI stuff was below it there. And then it went to like that. Like that, but then the buttons were there. But yeah, Cave Obelisk 2 is going to be the first 1.0 Oh no, it's no 1 dot, is it? It'll be 26.1. Which is why I've been focusing on certain mods for updating to 1.21. 1.21.11, I should say. Because I'm pretty sure, as I haven't looked at it a lot, I don't think at the minute there's too many changes to what we've done between 1.21.11 to 26.1. Yeah, I think we need to change our naming formatting as well. In terms of the mods. Because the way I currently do it is usually the number at the front is when a major version of Minecraft changes. So I usually boost the number there. Or a major version of the mod change. So casting, I think, is 2 point something, isn't it? Apparently casting is not even installed. Yeah, 2.3.7. Because obviously the casting 2.0 update was the one that added all the multi-block stuff. But then I did weird stuff like Compat's 5.6.7. There's only been one version of Compat, so I don't know why it was ever called that. But yeah, I think we need to look at the structure, like numbering. Because a lot of mods actually do it as well. So they use the Minecraft version. So they do 21 dot whatever. And then some mods don't, and NeoForge does 21.1. So if, for example, the next update, BBL Core could be like 26.1.1 or something like that. A pocket slot, which acts as a replacement for Curio slot. Is it just another slot? I think it's more of what the community goes in. Well, I'd say I don't really mind. As you can see, like all the mods does the same sort of thing. Where I think they bump a version, like the first number bumps with the Minecraft update version, I think. And then you've got some mods that include the Minecraft version. I don't know. I don't mind the whole bumping of an update number. So where's BBL Core? I mean, this is probably a bad example though, because BBL Core come out on so many different versions. I mean, so the latest BBL Core is, what is this? 1.11.19. I don't know how that even makes sense. Oh, 1.11. So yeah, so Minecraft update still 1.21. Why it's still 1. 11 is because it's version 11 of Minecraft, I think. Who knows? Oh, so it just allows you to add Curio items. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, the hope is that the stuff that we've done for 1.21.11, the hope is that the updating process to 26.1 won't be too bad. So for 1.21.11, we already have routers. We have Optimus Utilities, which is now BBL Utility, which I think is going to be renamed again to just Utilities. Core, Invisible Lights, Colors, Smart Crafting, which I don't know why I don't know how it's on that version because I don't even remember doing it. And Cloche, because I think they're the main mods we're going to need for the cave one. If you're going to go technical, yes, but it's officially it's 1.21.11. It was actually 25.4 because it come out in winter. So 26.1 is spring, I think. 26.1 spring, yeah. 26.2 is summer. 26.3 is autumn. 26.4 is winter. But then if the winter update has a hotfix that happens in January, it becomes 27, I think. Something like that. Wait, did I not actually upload the server files? I know I did. Update notify evolved. That's both of them pushed now. Oratech's a great mod. The only problem I had with it in Contain was it was really annoying to work with. But now there's Cube.js for it. It's probably a lot easier. I don't even know if we can show it. Oratech. So obviously, because it didn't have Cube.js, what we have to do event.custom, so it's just like the JSON file here. But it does weird things like, wasn't it like fluid was times at a certain amount or something like that? And oh no, that changed. So I'm pretty sure if you put a 1 here, it used to be like 85 or something. It would translate to in game. There was like a weird conversion system happening, but I think they've changed it now to actual proper numbers. But you have to have like stuff like this, and like fluid amounts empty on stuff when you just don't really need it there, but if it's not there it won't load, and all sorts of annoying stuff like that. And same with here, you have to use like empty arrays and stuff. But I'd say with Cube.js it's probably a lot better. But I mean, look, nearly 1,000 lines of custom code for Oratech, and I don't think there'll be another mod like that or another file like that. Like even casting, like 48 lines for casting. Oh, what, Oratech? Oh yeah, it was on release. Yeah, release candidates and then on to release, yeah. But Oratech is an absolutely fantastic mod. Like, it's so good. But we will use it, I think, in the future, but not... Maybe in Fractured, I don't know. There's another mod that... I can't remember the name of it. But we were going to use it in Submerged, but then we didn't end up using it. Is it Industrial Upgrade? No. It had like lasers and stuff, but I can't remember the name of it. LTX Industries, maybe? Yeah, LTX Industries. This mod looks great. From when I was testing it for Submerged as well, it looked really good. It's getting regular updates as well. The only problem is it had a bit of overlap with Mechanism, which I already had plans for in Submerged, but I don't really want to use Mechanism again. So this could be a good alternative. Just Diaphragm is really good, yeah. The thing is, I don't know how much people have seen or haven't seen of like the mods from well, the latest versions of the mods, I should say. But I think we've made huge improvements to Obelisk utilities and routers in the future ones. Like I think Obelisk utility is really good now. Like really good. Like this is utilities for well 1.21.11 and hopefully 26.1. So this is all the blocks that we have now. With the new ones we've got are so the resource generator is different again. But this is a much better way of doing it. And you get this little thing here. So a lot of the logic behind the mods has now moved into the core, which means that across the board everything should be more consistent. Instead of like building a mod specifically for a pack, the mods are more built, like the generic mods I should say, are more built for everyday use for other packs as well. So like the resource generator here, as you can see, normal. It's just exactly the same. You use water and lava inside it, so it's just a cobblestone generator in one. It won't use the fluids. However, there are some recipes that do use fluids, like Netherrack. You got like the fluid placers now. It just works. It works properly, so it actually does the action of the bucket. Whereas before, if I was going to do this on older versions, I probably would have just set the block as whatever the fluid was in the bucket. This will now execute the bucket, the fluid as a bucket item. Same with the collection. This is different. So this works out its time it will take, and it will just do it in one go instead of multiple goes. I think this is the same. Oh no, this is different as well. So this works for any fluid container at all. So if another mod adds something that holds a fluid, it will work. The redstone clock is amazing now. You can set the time between pulses. You can set how big the signal strip is, and you can set how big the pulse is. This is a new one. This is the collector, which literally just collects stuff from in-world if it's set up right. So it's probably above the block. Oh, it would help if the size was right, I guess. Oh, that's another huge thing, actually. Every single machine could be turned off by a redstone. Absolutely everything. So any of these machines here could be turned off. But again, this is because it's more built for more people to use instead of just Utilities is a strange one because it's been such a. It's probably one of the first ones I made, and it's never really had like a proper good overhaul. And I think this is a good lot of changes. Like the drying table now is a lot better as well. And again, you can turn this off as well. Like if you wanted to dry a sponge. That's off. And obviously you can see the texture changes. Yeah, it's not a table anymore, but I think this looks better. I have to say I detested the old model because I didn't like the fact that the water was kind of just staying there. And even this is silly, so we had to have custom logic though for this to work with buckets for the actual placing of the fluids. They're somewhat. They're not going to be final, I don't think. They're not far off though. I don't think. Like these are brand new, so obviously these are just work like placeholder textures a minute. And this same. The summoning block looks awful, but even the summon. Look how cool the summoning block is now. The fact that you can summon entities with MBT is really cool. Because obviously they added the variants on mobs, so you've got like the temperate, cold, warm versions of some mobs. So you can actually have the exact mob you want to spawn, which I think is quite good as well. So this is the kind of level we want to get. Yeah, you can spawn baby animals. We can test it right now if you want. What's a baby? Does a bee have a baby? Okay, we'll do cow. The cows even have their own little folder because they've got 3 different types. Baby cow. And we've got the temperature variant thing as well on the summoning block, so you can have hot, cold, and normal summonings, which again is purely because of vanilla added it. Summon cow must have cold blocks like ice around it. So this recipe is the same for all types of cows. Obviously, if you have ice, it will spawn this one. If you have, I think we just did lava for the other one. But I'm not happy with that, so we'll probably change that somewhat. So the MBT for a baby, then. What do we think that is? How to summon baby. You must use the age tag. So I guess we could just do... We were talking the other day about inconsistencies in Minecraft. This is another one. But I think age is capital A. So that, maybe? It could be a recipe to some baby ones. Actually, probably want to change it to something. We'll just use a diamond, for example. There you go. So you just do a diamond on a dirt block with ice around it, and it will get you a cow. I think so. I did actually think about doing babies by default, but I just don't think that's as useful. I don't think you want to summon like a baby and then wait for it to grow up. But yeah, that's how much better the summoning block is. Oh, I just realised you didn't even see the actual right page. Here we go. Yeah, if you want to add it to a baby, you just literally have to add that. But as I say, because of the inconsistencies, I reckon this will probably change to lowercase a. But at the minute, in vanilla, that's how you summon it. I think custom names that. Yeah, the idea is so that you can do basically anything you want with entities with the summoning block. Like I think I even showed an example on Discord with the zombie that had like a custom name and a sword and stuff. Summons cow. Yeah, so custom names like that. It's weird. But that's vanilla EBT. So anything that adds entity data the same way vanilla does, which I think Neoforge does do that. It adds it to the same registry, I think. Should just work. And obviously it works with any entity. And the below block could be a tag or it could be a box state as well. So for example, so it's same as how in-world recipes works in this current version, where the block can be a tag which is defined with the hashtag, or it could be any block state. So you could have it so, I don't know, you want to summon a chicken on top of a furnace that was lit and facing north. You could do that if you want. No. It only checks for, I think, 2. It might even be, and it might even be 1. 1 hot or cold block around it. So that block gets placed below. Get rid of all the tooltips, and then you can see it properly. So you place this block below. Place that inside. That's the spawn egg, just so it can show the recipe via the spawn egg. And obviously that's the mob. But this is, as you saw, dynamic as well. So this will summon whatever, this will show whatever mob the thing will summon. So like an exact copy. So yeah, that's utilities going forward. As I say, I'm really happy with it. Really happy with it. And hopefully we don't need to do too much work on it for 26.1. Which would be really good. Can we make Froglight spawn have a frog and spawn magma cubes? What do you mean? I have no idea what it means. To be fair, the general rule I've had with the spawner is that recipes that I add by default will only be for passive mobs. I mean with your spawn. You can automate it, that's what you mean. frog like? What is a frog like? These. It has to be the small cube. But that's another thing you can find. You can make it spawn small cubes. Oh, you could 100% automate that, yeah. Just have the magma cube spawn out of that. You just have like a frog next to it or something. But obviously, as I say, by default, it won't cover those recipes because the idea is mainly for passive mobs. Even though I'm pretty sure in every pack that I've had this, I've added a hostile mob spawning of some description. Pretty sure we did in Submerged. We definitely did in Contained. Maybe not Tech Free. Opposite definitely had it as well. Did it? I can't remember. I didn't do much on Opposite Sync. Tech Free was non-hostile. It wasn't really non-hostile. You had to kill some mobs. So yeah, that's stuff to look forward to in 1.21 of utilities. We also have very, very good updates in colours, I think. I can't remember if spray cans are a thing in this yet. Oh no. Oh yeah, I think actually colours is completely... So utility is completely finished. Like there's nothing else I want to add. There's everything else. Everything works as far as I know so far. So that is done, and I'm pretty sure colours is the same. Obviously, we've got the texture generating that we do automatically, which is nice. I can't remember what actually we've got in this now. Signs that have correct names. Crafted tables now work. Falling leaf particles. Oh yeah, so every tree in vanilla now has like falling leaf textures. So we had to add all that. Which was actually surprisingly easy because the default vanilla one actually adds a tint color. So you could just apply tint to it. So we just used the tint that we're using for the data generation of the textures, which was fine. Sandstone is good. Coloured sand and coloured sandstone. And chests. Chests were quite good. They took a hell of a long time. But again, the fact that we can data gen textures is really good. So that's our default ones. They're the textures that get coloured. And then in the generation file, you have all the textures that get built, because if you have to manually make these, it would go insane. Which is why originally we stopped using what did we stop using? We stopped using individual textures and block writers. We just went for a tint, and then turned out that that was probably more difficult than it needs to be. Stuck with it for a bit and then gave up with that as well. And then went back to this. You got the saplings in the coloured pots. I don't think that was in the old version, so you can do that now. Obviously you got sandstone. Sandstone looks quite good. And then the chests. I was going to tint the inside of the chests, but I didn't. And obviously the sand. Right, so I did think about coloured pots. Now the issue you've got with that is definitely overthinking for no reason at all. Because you have to 16x every item that we've got. Right? So every sapling, every plant would need to have 16 variants of this pot. No, we'll do what we've done with other textures. We could just create a grayscale version and then use DataGen to we could generate the textures fine. That is not an issue. But pots don't work how you think they work. So, for example, if we get an item frame. Okay, so here's an item frame, yeah? Now it's got that in it. It's still, this is still an item frame, right? This, however, this, when you put something in it, this is no longer a terracotta vanilla pot anymore. This, if you look on the left, top left, where it says the FPS, fancy clouds, filtering, targeted block, colors, black potted sapling. It's its own block. So you'd have to add 16 different pots, colors, for every single color type. So 16 times 16. So 6 times 16 is 256 variations for one item. Okay, times by, that's poppies and dandelion, is 512 blocks. Add how many flowers? There's quite a few flowers here. So times by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Call it times by 30. That's 15,360 blocks. Which again is doable, but just not needed. Pretty sure it does. Yeah. But again, as you can see, it's called Potted Mangrove Probagal. And I have to say, from a technological standpoint, I have no idea why this has to create a different block when it's used. It makes no sense. There's no reason why this couldn't work like every single pedestal mod that exists. Like even for Starfall, the pedestals, you put an item in, it renders that item, right? So you could just add it fine. Why this has to be its own block, I don't know. So you don't have the door issues as the door is 2 blocks. What do you mean? Actually, if you looked at how many plant pots do we actually add? Because we must add a few. So we had 48. So we had all of the saplings, poppy, and dandelion. A door in Minecraft is 2 blocks, not 1. It is, yeah. 2 blocks, not 1, yeah. What does that mean? You talk about this? Not really, no. Are you saying this should be 2 blocks? As long as it's just reigniting the pools, that's fine. What, the pot should be 2 blocks? No, I'm saying the block. I'm saying that the pot should be 1 block. This shouldn't be 2 different blocks, in my opinion. This should be 1 block. You add a plant to it, and the plant goes inside like a slot, like a ghost slot that everything uses. So, like as I say, pedestals from Starforge mod, yeah. You put the item in, and it shows that item, but it's still 1 block. So there's no reason why this couldn't be a block entity renderer instead of this. Because it's just, there's no need to add. Because all you do is copy the render of the block that's already in there and just apply it. But that's like hard-coded vanilla stuff that I'm not touching. Yeah, that's cool then. As long as you just reignite it, that's fine. It just feels like a very weird way of doing it. 1.14 was it? Or 1.4.7? .4.2. And item frames were added in the same update. That's hilarious. So they actually added the system for this, which literally does what this does, which is display an item in the world, and decided that this was a better option, doing it as separate blocks instead of just rendering the item in world. That's just bizarre. Look at it in another way, right? You saw the drying table a minute ago. Imagine if for every single recipe you had to add a custom block that showed just the top of the item, just the item in there. That's the level it's at. It's stupid and I don't like it. Even chests, though. Chests are silly as well. The amount of hoops we had to jump through for chests. We had to mix into the chest renderer and reassign the textures. Because apparently if you extend a chest block class, you can't assign the textures for it, which is just weird. What else did we have to do? Oh, it was a lot. Because I expected it to not take as long as it did, and we were streaming for hours. Oh, does strip nogs not work even now? Maybe. Yeah, we need to implement that again. But yeah, that's colours. But again, colours we definitely want for the Cave Obelisk mod pack. And then the other one was routers as well. Which again, the base of routers is done. Any other supported mod will come as separate add-ons now. Because it was hell to update this with the amount of integration that was built into it. Whereas I think I've actually... So most of the system is kind of modularized. The only thing that isn't really is the menu, but the menu would just attach to an existing menu, which is why I separated the like GUIs out a little bit, but it's still inside one block. Where are my routers? This stuff I think is cool. There's still some translations aren't done, but this is cool. As I say, I think the only I probably want to just add like a will transfer X amount every X ticks or whatever, so you know exactly what it's doing in terms of like speed upgrades and stuff. But the actual like dynamic menus with buttons. So the idea is that when a mod wants to support routers, and let's be honest, it'll probably be me adding the support anyway. You just add to this screen, I think it is. Is it this screen? Yeah, this screen. Config menu. Yeah, so you add to this. Wait, is it this? No, it's not this. It's the filter screen. This screen. So you add to this. So if you add item fluid, the next one would be, well, the next one that probably needs slot filtering is chemicals. But I'll add that as a default, I think, anyway, because Mekanism is actually quite nice to support without hard depending on it. So you just add it here. Button type would just become chemical filter, and then we'll just have to save the chemical filter to the block entity, which is all fine. But then that means it's just all modularized, and it's just so much easier to maintain like this instead of a class on top of a class on top of a class. And then before, all of this logic used to be inside the exporter. So it's separated out now into obviously fluid, item, energy at some point, and then chemical at some point. And then you just hook that into the actual entity. And then here where it says somewhere's like handle something, move resources, you just hook into that and then add that like class into it, and then that's how it works. Hey, welcome. I know I'm actually probably waffling so much rubbish, but I think it's interesting. There's no way I'm looking at Techopters 2. Techopters 2 with AE2 didn't work, I don't think, because of the way game stages worked. I think that I can't remember. I honestly have no idea. There's a if you look at the archive pack roll, there's probably about 1,000 chats about it that may be able to help you. Yeah, it's been a while. Game stages broke all the crafters. Yeah, there was an issue with game stages, which is why I stopped using it. It's a good idea in theory, you just can't support everything out of the box. I don't even think Refined Storage works, does it? I don't know. One of them does work. As I say, your best bet is to check that archive channel for Techopters 2. and just see, like, search like AE2 or something in there maybe. Because there's a lot of issues with game stages. Cube.js stages is its own implementation of some sort of game stages. You can it's basically the same as game stages. You could just assign a recipe to a stage, and then if that player has that stage, they can craft it. But again, I'm not sure how that works with like auto crafting, because the reason why there's no game stages for 1.21.1 is because the actual recipe system changed massively. So the recipe system is entirely based on the player now, I think. It's or something like that. So you can't really game stage anything anymore, like recipes. Because if you just use a machine, it would work. It's handy if you wanted to do like early game stages, I guess. But yeah, that's the stuff coming in 26. Which is exciting. Does anyone have any other questions? I'd say I'm open to answering anything, really. Hacks, mods, whatever. Yeah, I can't remember the I did think AE2 worked, and it was refined storage that had the problem, but I can't remember. Honestly, it's so long ago. But yeah, say any other questions? Feel free to ask. The worst thing is it used to actually work fine. And then there was an update to something that needed an update to game stages, which just broke everything. Right, I think that's going to be it then. As I said, unless there's anything anyone else wants to ask or wants advice or anything like that, speak now or forever hold your peace. Thanks for playing the packs. It means more than you know. Yeah, that's pretty good, to be fair. I say I like Orotech. There's just certain things that the particle accelerator thing is just really complex. It'd be really cool if it didn't require like this. If it required A speed but didn't go over it or something. But I understand it's meant to be like high level stuff, so I get it. But yeah, make sure to follow the stream. If you have Prime subs, feel free to use them here. All the support helps. Patreon, I guess, if you want to join the Patreon. We have a new pack coming soon, which means you get ready for that. Plus any new mods we end up making for it, which I hope we don't have to, because I'm kind of done with mod making. I don't want to add any more mod making stuff to 1.20.1 really. But yeah, thanks all for watching. We're back tomorrow. It'll be Fractured again, probably. Yeah, Fractured again, and then maybe even more Fractured on Sunday. Sunday's a weird one because we've actually got a busy day on Sunday, so I don't actually know when the stream will be. It will either be really early or it could be quite late, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your days, and